Hey, welcome back.
Hello,
How was
everyone.
Back.
how's your weekend?
Never been
Going
better.
well.
Good weather?
It's
Good
getting
weather.
warm.
We had 90, 91, 92 degrees yesterday, and then a storm at night that woke me up. But other than that, I think it's good. We are getting into summer finally. It's gonna go up above hundreds.
Yeah, I think we're going to go up. Sorry, Levy, in the Fahrenheit range. We're going to
Oh,
go
it's
up
okay.
above 80 degrees in the next couple of days, up to 90. And it's been kind of colder than normal, or at least it's felt colder than normal. So it's going to be a good change for us. And Levy, if you're walking through the forest chasing rabbits, I mean, it must be good weather.
Well, it was nice. Yeah, it's very sunny now. There wasn't much rain, unfortunately, but yeah,
Isn't it something
it's
like
okay.
20, 24 degrees or something like that there?
Celsius, yeah.
Celsius?
Well, it's about in
At
the
least my parents told me that the other day.
yeah. But here where I live, it's there's a the river is nearby and the forest is it has a cooling effect as well. So it's not that bad.
Cool. Well, I had an interesting experience in the past week of, looking for that next full-time gig that you want to have forever. Part of the interview process, I got asked to provide some responses, and they were basically essay questions, giving me 5 scenarios and mostly 3 questions per scenario to answer. And in those scenario answers, both of you are familiar with me. I just overshare way too much information, and it's something I've always done. So I did a brain dump into the document for how I was going to answer the questions, knowing I would have to go back and refine that and cut out some of the extraneous language and kind of tighten it up. So I did that. And at the end, I looked at it, I thought, I'm going to go ahead and use Copilot since it's embedded with Office. I'm just going to go ahead and use Copilot and see if I can't shorten these. And I thought I wrote decent enough prompting to say, hey, take the information and only the information I've provided and consolidate it down to a structure that provides clarity and continuity of thought all the way through. Don't change anything that I've written and don't introduce new concepts. All that in my prompt. And after running the prompt against the first essay question, it was about a 10 paragraph. I wanted to get it down to 4, maybe 5 at the most. Rereading it, I thought, I probably could have edited this faster myself than what it's now going to take, because now Copilot has actually changed a little bit contextually. It had changed the thought, and it had used words I would never use. So then I had to go back and re-edit. I was like, so should I just edit the original 10 paragraphs, or should I just re-edit the now condensed 4.5? And I chose to do the 4.5 to see what the outcome would look like. And it wasn't quite as crisp as I had hoped for. And that's the key word there, had hoped for. In the time-saving effort Copilot was supposed to provide, it actually took me just as long, if not longer, to do the assignment, if you will. So I was kind of a little disillusioned by what happened. So I'm not really sure how to frame the problem here, but I think that there's an expectation from the human element with using AI that kind of overstates the capability or the outcome. So it's probably not ever going to produce what you're looking for. Even when you write well-formed, decent prompts, you may not get exactly what you want. Now there'll be instances, I'm sure, where you do, but in this case, it's a little bit underwhelmed, if that's the
Yeah.
best way to describe it. What are your thoughts, Levy?
Yeah, I think the problem is that what do you use it for and what is your expectation of the outcome? So the problem is that it will try to reiterate everything that you say based on all the data that it accumulated or it was taught with. And then you will lose all your original thoughts in it. Maybe the summary will be the same, but it's no longer you. So I think that's a big problem there. So I wouldn't use that for that purpose, because it's the same like when you use it for coding, it will give you so confident it will return you based on your request, and then it will 100% be sure that it's working, and then it's not working, and then you return the errors and what was expected. All right, and then it will rewrite the whole code again, and then once again 100% sure that it's going to work this time, and then it's not going to work again. So you will 5 times reiterate. Maybe you change the prompt or give some feedback, and then retry and retry, and then by the end you probably could have just written the code by yourself and debug it as you would. But yeah, I mean, I think most of the people, like, not you, because you wrote the essay yourself, right? And then ask it to condense it. But if people start with an idea, they prompt it, and then they try to fix up that result, that's going to be a bigger problem for those people who get used to that, because
Yeah.
they
But
they
you're
will
touching
sound
on.
like a robot, right? Sorry.
I know you're sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. You're touching on several points that we've been talking about in the past as well, right? You need to, going back to what you said about the codes. It's gonna throw out for you whatever you're looking for, or tell you that it's the with 100% confidence that that's what you're looking for. But you need to know what you need, and you need to realize whether what the end result is popping there on the screen, whether it's the right one or the. Again, you have to have that kind of knowledge, and that's the problem with most of the population using AI. They just don't know what's right and what's wrong from the answers, and then they are gonna take it for granted that yes, that's what it is, and then getting in a situation like what Troy was explaining, they don't realize that it's not right or not. I mean, not the right one that they are looking for, and still they are gonna submit it. Or in your case with the code, if they don't know that it's not the right code to use, they are going to crash an entire system at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
See, and I'm also worried that, so if you just took an AI response if you're asked a question and you ask an AI model, which you could, what is the best answer for this question? If everybody involved, say there are 50 people doing the same question, trying to provide an answer, just submit what AI suggests, then everything becomes generic and it's all based off of whatever the model decided was the appropriate response. And in this case, I don't know a heck of a lot about how Copilot is maintained and updated because it's easy to use as part of Microsoft 365, quietly deployed to every Windows 11 user. It's there, right? It's something that's it's functional. It does do a great job, but it's only superficially great. If you go through and you read what it's done with something you provided, your own writing, you can more easily see the gaps and the problems. But if you're just relying on it for its generic response, it reads very well, it reads fine. But the point is, if 50 people answered the same question, they all answered the same way. If everybody used Copilot, it's the same answer from 50 different people. Diversity of thought is
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah.
again, it goes back to the other thing. Anything and everything can be uploaded to the internet, right? And AI is not going to tell you whether it was a BS that somebody responded or not, or
Correct.
uploaded or not. That's been an issue forever, ever since we have internet and ever since we have Google search.
Yeah, it's so much easier now because all you got to do is answer or provide some instructions and an input, and you're off and running. So
Yeah. But again, you need to know what you're looking for, and you need to know, like I said, whether that information that it's providing is accurate or not.
But as we talked about this before with the management or CEOs who were so much invested into AI or mentally invested that, okay, this is going to change the technology as is. We don't need any more humans, and everyone should use AI, and then we can get rid of the experienced people. That's how it will have to shift at some point. But right now, what is happening, I think, is that they are expecting results because they had this thought in their minds that, okay, I was using AI when I write my CV, and instead of 2 hours, I spent only 5 minutes. So they will extrapolate this to everything. So if a product design used to take 2 weeks, now it should only take 1 day. So it does not translate that way. So I think that's why I was saying that all these cul-de-sacs that this technology offers and we haven't explored yet, we are walking down to every one of them, and then at the dead end you will have to realize that you just cannot go further, so you have to turn back around, walk back your way, then take the next junction and see which one you pick. But you won't see from the junction which end will or which line will end in a dead end and which one is leading to somewhere. So you have to walk your way down. But the problem is that if you are firing at every junction all the people who you think you won't need at the end of the that tunnel, then it's just at the end it's not going to be that rewarding, because you still have to make money while you're walking down the dead end, and then all the way back as well. And who will make the money if AI, it turns out, won't make the money, and you fired all the people who make the money? So then what you gonna do?
That's funny, is I see a parallel. So in the context of what you said, you're talking about leadership and making decisions and how we would normally traditionally make a decision based off of data we have and what we foresee coming. In the prompting space, and this is where it kind of fell apart for me with using Copilot. I thought I'd put together a pretty good chain of thought prompt, meaning you're using multiple steps, a step by step, to arrive at an answer, get what you want back, but it really didn't work. You know what I mean? It worked, but it didn't produce the results I had in mind. So
Because it's not reading your mind, dude.
no,
That's
no,
what it is.
it doesn't
are
have a
not ready yet.
consciousness, and it's not on the same level.
Yeah,
Yep,
and
but
he doesn't know
it
who you
fakes
are,
it
and he
very
doesn't
well.
know personality and things like that, and that's the piece that you were missing from your answers.
Yeah.
What I have to do when I was trying to get some results out of Copilot, let it be the enterprise version or the one that you were just talking about, that everybody who has a Windows 11 gets it. It was the same thing. It gave me different versions. I added in some more prompts to sound like the way I want it to be sounding, right? It gave me again some answers, and at the end of the day, I ended up merging the two, basically taking one piece out of one of the answers, putting it in the other one, and kind of tailoring it, just to be, like you said, it more sounding like as if I would be the one, or would have been the one writing it, right? But there were other occasions as well where I told Copilot that these are the files that I want you to analyze, and you need to give either the path or upload the file, and so on and so forth, and then it does its job. And it did brilliantly somehow, and that's what I don't really understand how. If I give it anyway, so I gave the files, it did what it had to do, but somehow it took information from other files as well on my PC, on my OneDrive, from my Google Drive, that it's personal, right? My own. I didn't even tell it to reach out to there, and took that information and ingested in the original write-up. So I had to go through it, had to remove the references, and there were references that didn't even make sense and didn't belong there at all. So I don't know why it was kind of thinking about it, that, hey, I need this file, and then I just add it in there and it's going to be perfect.
So there's a trade-off, especially, and I typically don't use Copilot for this stuff. I probably should have just flipped over to Perplexity, which I usually do for this kind of work. But in your chatbot settings, you can go into privacy and say, you can make it the setting change to where it doesn't remember everything you've got. But then you lose the advantage of it learning to know you. So I keep, and you've seen my prompt windows, kept all the history, not because it's something I want to go back to over and over, but more because it's helping Perplexity, in some cases, Claude, whichever I'm using, to know more about me, to see my writing style, because I'm uploading a lot of things I've written. It sees how I write. And I'm trying to get the benefit out of Copilot of, hey, I would have used Grammarly to help me fix this up a little bit, or Pro Writing in the past, but because you've got the same capability, I'm thinking you can do the same job and I don't have to go pay for a subscription any longer. But in reality, that's not exactly what I got. And it still came back to looking at the prompts I had written and scratching my head going, I really thought I had narrowed this down. The chain of thought prompt was clear enough that it should have given a better result, but it didn't meet. It was a good result. It just didn't meet what I was expecting. My expectations were here, and it came in down
Because
here.
it wasn't you, it was a generic result, I guess.
That's what I wanted to say. You just hit the nail on the head. What we were talking about as well, about the expectations. You were expecting it to be the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
As the outcome. But
I
it
use
cannot.
way too many
it cannot do
words,
that.
use fewer words, but give the same message, right? And it didn't.
Yeah, but and just think about it. At some point, what's the goal? The goal is to be like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to impersonate basically us. as humans. I don't know when we are gonna get there. Obviously, that's the aim in many cases, especially where they are replacing humans with AI, like we talked about it, right? With the, I don't know, contact center, whatever type of resources. I don't know if it's gonna be 10 years down the road or it's gonna happen tomorrow, but obviously that's the goal, and I don't know, that I see risks with that as well.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I can't reconcile when you see all these leaders. You see companies like NVIDIA and the CEOs. You see the smartest guys in the room, so to speak, from other organizations. You see what Oracle did with letting go of so many people and having probably a bubble when it burst, $250 billion of debt to reconcile against because they've overinvested in something that's not producing revenue. You see the things coming from all these different segments of technology, and the same messaging is we're very close to AGI. Artificial general intelligence is supposed to mimic humans, and I don't think it's that close, but I don't think it's that far away from mimicking it. I don't know that I don't know that it ever achieves it. But especially with agentic AI, we're using agents to do multiple tasks. You can get a lot of good results. I just struggle though with how does an organization get people that work at the organization to more fully adopt a technology like even generative AI, only generative AI. Don't look at your developers who are probably scratching their head even more. But how do you get them to adopt it when the human expectation for the result is just never met? And that's internally. Then think about your customers. And we talked last week about the bad experiences with poorly implemented AI solutions to filter what's coming in customer service wise. So it's very challenging. And I can't reconcile like a requirement that all my developers should be using $250,000 a month of tokens. It's like, why would you spend that? You should be looking at what are you getting for the tokens you use, not a threshold of if you're not consuming K in tokens each month, you're not doing your job. It's like it doesn't reconcile.
That's the other way around. It's upside down. Totally.
Want to see the outcome.
It gives you, as of right now, and this gives me an uneasy feeling, and maybe I'm trying not to be this, aluminum foil hat person, but it gives me an uneasy feeling that why is this free when it costs so much, one thing, and why is it not really showing any development or feels like it is catering to simplify humans to a level that they are happy with the current results instead of evolving the tool to meet the smartness of humans. So let's just lower the expectations of the humans who use it. So most of the people would say that it's good enough. And then you don't have to spend so much money on deployment or constantly evolving it because people will just lower their or dumb down to the level when it is good enough. So it's like Idiocracy, the movie. Have you seen it?
I totally agree. And I think AI has done a great job with bringing automation to the next level. Things that we were doing in the past that we're producing, but the next level, the outcomes. I mean, you can get through so much more data so much faster.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easy. It's been simplified. The interaction from human to machine it's almost second nature, right? A lot of folks are having conversations with chatbots as though they're actually people. So there's a lot to be said for it. I guess it's the expectation is your outcomes are going to be measurable and profitable for an organization and beneficial for the consumers of your products or your services. And that's the part where it just gets sideways for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know people are actually asking AI what to eat for dinner. Because they cannot make up their mind and they just, give me a pro and contra on, I don't know, Burger King versus Taco Bell. And then, I mean, this and this is producing some heat in some place where it will have a side effect on the nature, and it's just mind-boggling that this is happening as we speak.
It's making life easier on an everyday life level, right? I think I told you this. My daughter is going to ChatGPT every time asking for recipes because she just knows what she wants to eat, but she doesn't know how to make it. Right? So when you go down to the everyday life. It's going to be useful. Obviously, you need to know if it tells you to put salt in it instead of sugar or the other way around. It goes back to what we said, right? But at the same time, it's helpful. But how helpful it is going to be for the business, like you said it, Troy, and how beneficial at the end of the day is going to be a different story that we just need to wait and see. Well, my concern is, and I was chatting with somebody last night, and we got to the same conclusion, and I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago as well, if not months ago. It's helping a lot for the kids to produce what they need to produce for school, and let's put it on the side whether it's right or wrong and the information that they are getting, or whether they can sell it to the teacher that, hey, I was the one writing it. So let's put that on the side. But at the same time, there's the risk from humanity perspective, right, that we are taking away the opportunity from them to learn how to study alone. That's a thing. How to study alone, how to prepare yourself for your own classes, and how to gain the knowledge that you need for future. And the critical thinking, the strategical thinking, everything else we are taking away from them with all these AI and automation opportunities. All the social media and everything else as well goes into that same bucket.
Yeah.
My daughter is fine. Troy, your kids are fine as well, right? Because they are somewhat grown. Well, yours are grown up. Mine is somewhat grown up. Levy, yours are at risk, but not as much as the generation after your kids came in.
For sure.
Because right now, you give a phone to a 3-year-old and they know what to do. They cannot read, obviously, but they know where to click to get where they want to get to.
It's phenomenal.
Somebody showed them, so that's a good thing. So they are learning, but they are gonna be using it more and more for more in-depth exercises.
The problem with this, that how easy do we really want life to become? I don't want to sound like a boomer, because it's a great thing that all the technology that we have around us, but I think we are at the brink of when it's causing more harm than
it's gonna flip over.
Because an average human lives in a house. I don't know. I read somewhere that currently in the West, a person lives in a household which has like 30 to 150 servants worth of manpower built into. So you don't really have to go down to the river with a bucket to get water, right? You don't have to light a fire to heat it up. You don't have to wash your dishes because the dishwasher does it for you, right? I mean, there's so many things that we don't have to do already. And then, this thing is getting, if it wouldn't be so addictive because of the brain chemistry thing, I would say it's on the level of the bidet toilet seats, all these smart toilets. It is basically wiping your backside without your consent, or you just have to think about it. I mean, how many people using those smart toilets? I mean, only they are available, right? But you don't use it because you don't have a dopamine hit every time you use it, right? That's the problem with AI and social media, because it's not really helping your life any further. It's taking away from your life because it blocks your time, it blocks your energy, your attention, dumbing you down, and you use it only because it's the infinite orgasm mouse button experience.
So what you said, Levi, with the households and the servants, and it's a good thing that evolution happened, right? But we are really talking about, if you think about it, putting it in categories, what we are really talking about in the past, it helped you eliminate the need for physical work, right? But now with AI and then the automation and everything else, it's eliminating the brain to be used, and that's the problem. And the other thing is that kids are hiding behind, going back to your social media comment, they are hiding behind social media. They are very happily chatting with God knows who on the other end, but when they need to go into a room and have face-to-face conversations, they have no idea what to do
They're
and
frozen.
how to do it, how to get started. And at the same time on social media with everyone. So from a human perspective, because we are talking about humans here as well, or mostly in the relationship with technology, that's the piece that I'm most worried about, that's what we are taking away from our kids, allowing them to use all these tools.
That's a great point. So before we started recording today, I kind of talked to you guys a little bit offline about AI adoption and where the numbers stand. And I ran a query using Perplexity, of course, my go-to. The highest AI adoption is generally seen in information technology, followed by professionals or professional scientific, technical services, manufacturing, and healthcare. But even then, the numbers it gives, citing MIT Sloan and North Carolina Commerce, information services and healthcare were each around 12% of firms using AI today, with construction and retail far lower. If you listen to the Jensen Huangs of the NVIDIA's CEO of the world, you'd think that adoption would 12% is pretty damn low. You'd think it'd be over 50% at this point. If you guys remember when we got started at Fernando, he loved ChatGPT when it first hit the scene, and this is 2022. We had a lot of conversation 4 years ago about this and the trajectory we thought that we would see coming out of generative AI specifically. And to see that number, and I'm assuming it's accurate because Perplexity AI told me it is. It must be.
It came from the internet. It must be true.
It must be true. So anyways, if it is hovering actually around 12% adoption for those sectors, I'm just baffled.
And I wonder that 12% is like I guess it's self-reported, right? I mean, the companies say that okay, from now on we are utilizing AI. How much percent is really using it and not just putting it on a banner because it's a buzzword?
Yeah, and
arbitrary
it's,
number.
I think that the rate of trying to adopt it is probably significantly higher. I would expect 80% plus easily for companies trying to adopt it.
Yep.
Effectively adopting it and using it. The 12% is probably fairly accurate. I trust MIT Sloan Management Review, and it's cited as one of the sources. I don't know much about North Carolina Commerce, but it sounds official. I would assume the data is collected from companies. I don't know. There's great questions.
You know why? What you can actually use AI that you would say that, okay, this is done by AI and AI only. Can you give me an example that you would say that, okay, E2E, this is happened with the use of AI and there was no human checking, debugging, double checking, triple checking, reprompting, whatnot. I mean, if you say that, okay, I done this with AI and here's the guarantee you checked it 5 times because your job depends on it. Yeah, because if you hand it over that this is done by AI and this is the results and it's shitty as it happens sometimes, then it's you on the chopping block, right?
Yeah.
So what does AI do? It cannot take responsibility, so it cannot responsibly take over a job. So whose job is in line if AI screws up? A CEO won't resign. Oh, come on. Yeah, with the golden parachute. Yeah, sure, it's my fault. Now give me my $600 million and my $500 million in option that I will use right now when the shares are down 50% because of my mistake. And then when it bounces back, I cash in and then I live happily ever after.
Well, I have a great CEO story for another time from AT&T days. You go back to the late 90s. Almost exactly what you just said.
Same thing happens all the time.
But we've seen Levy, we've seen it in real life, who is getting roasted and laid off when something like that happens.
Yeah,
we've been there
multiple times with the same company even.
Yeah, we've been there, all of us.
But anyways.
Good times. Great discussion. We went a little bit longer today than our target, so.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Good discussion.
Just give it a snip.
I'll let AI decide what to keep and what to get rid of.
Yeah, that's right.
Just now that
it will change our voices as well. I will say AI is the best ever. Use AI as much as possible.
You just got like 3 new tags right there. Levy's the guy. Riverside's AI has got you nailed. Oh yeah, we're going to quote him for 3/4 of the content.
Yeah.
So good discussion. Any closing thoughts?
New week.
Yeah.
It's a new week.
Looking forward. Warm weather. Looking forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as
Summer
well.
is
Good
on
luck
us.
as you finish out the school year, Levy. Keep the faith, man. You're doing a good job.
Almost there.
And you're helping a lot of kids. And like Troy said it
Tremendous.
yesterday, you're changing their lives. That's what matters.
Hope for the better.
I hope so.
Tell us after the exam and we'll know.
We'll see. We'll see.
Good deal. Okay, well, until we talk again next week.
Talk to you soon.
See ya.
See you guys.